Hello and welcome into Game Day 14. I am Craig. Welcome into the RNGIDP channel. Happy to be back with you after a few nights off. Happy to be back in somewhat good health and back streaming again. I know I started out, I think I streamed for, I think it was 2 weeks in a row, every night, something like that. Last few nights I've had some health challenges, and I've heard from some of you on Twitter, and I just want to say thank you for all the well wishes, and I'm happy to report that health is on the rise, and I'm happy to be back here and looking forward to bringing a ball game to you tonight. So we've got a good one. We've got the San Francisco Giratina 4-8, losers of 5 in a row. They lost their last game to New York 2-1, taking on Miami Malamar, who are 5-7. Miami had game day 13 off the last game, but in game day 12 they lost their last game. So looking a couple of teams to turn these things around. San Francisco sits in 13th place. Miami is a few spots higher in 11th. And we'll have the pitching matchup here in a second. After I greet a few people, looks like we've got some people in the chat here live with me. Derek, Dodgers Royals fan, hello there, saying hi, checking in. And the Statistician is here. Welcome. Enjoy your channel, and I'm happy that you're here joining me live on mine. Welcome to both of you. I don't know that I've seen you guys here, and I'm happy you're here, so welcome. What we do here is I've got a randomized rosters, completely randomized, and I didn't even think about this before, but I was watching Earl, Tabletop Earl, Tenacious Earl, I guess you should say. And he described it as like fantasy type rosters, and that's kind of what it is. I randomized the entire, all 30 teams, randomized them all. And I'm playing a shortened 28 game season. So we are in game day 13. Game day 14. So we're almost halfway there. And so far it's been pretty fun, and I hope you enjoy it too. These rosters make for some challenges, and it's fun trying to work all of that out. So tonight, let's go through these lineups. We've got a good pitching matchup. We've got the lefty John Danks pitching for San Francisco against the righty Ian Kennedy. Ian Kennedy will be on the mound first for Miami, for the hometown Miami Malamar, and he is 1-0 in 12 innings. He's given up 9 hits in those 12 innings, 3 earned runs, 11 strikeouts to 5 walks, 2.25 ERA, and a 1.17 WHIP. And this is how San Francisco will line up against him. San Francisco, nobody injured for San Francisco, and they are going with their everyday lineup. No substitutions, no injuries. This is what you get for San Francisco. So, Rajai Davis is the center fielder. Rajai Davis is hitting 185. He's leading off. He's got 3 doubles, 3 triples. No homers yet, though. Javi Baez is the second baseman. Javi Baez is struggling a little bit. 231, 6 doubles, though. And also, no home runs, but 3 RBIs. Marwin Gonzalez is the first baseman for San Francisco. Marwin Gonzalez is hitting 176 on the season. The big man, the new Yankee. But here he plays for San Francisco, which is kind of funny. One of the possible destinations that he could have gone to in real life. He's batting cleanup, hitting right field. Giovanni Stanton, or not Joe, I always want to call him Giovanni. Giancarlo Stanton. Giancarlo Stanton is hitting 326 with 7 homers, but only 8 driven in. Most of those have been solo shots. Matt Duffy, third baseman, hitting 5th. Matt Duffy's hitting 271, 3 doubles, a triple, no homers yet. Johnny Peralta is the shortstop in the 6th spot. Johnny Peralta is hitting 262 with a homer, 10 RBIs for Johnny Peralta. That by far leads the team. Him and Stanton have done the most damage so far. Franklin Gutierrez is the left fielder, hitting 7th. He's hitting 132. Chris Iannetta is catching. He had the day off in the last game day to try and get his bat right. He's only hitting 118. No doubles, no triples, no homers, no driven in. 9 strikeouts for him. And the pitcher, as we mentioned, is John Danks. He's a weak-hitting left-handed pitcher. and he's using the number 1 card. Well, I think we're ready to roll here. I hope you're ready for some baseball, and I'm happy that you guys are here. So Ian Kennedy will pitch to Rajai Davis after a brief break here. The last 2 days I haven't streamed, and I missed you guys. I'm happy that you're here. So here we go. It's a 5-7. A 5-7, and Rajai Davis swings through that one, and he leads off the game with a strikeout. So Ian Kennedy gets his first man, and now Javi Baez. Javi Baez with a 3-6, and he strikes out. So back-to-back strikeouts for Kennedy. And that's kind of been a problem for San Francisco. They can't get anybody on base in front of Stanton. Will Gonzalez be able to get on base to try and have Stanton bring him home? It's a 2-5, and wouldn't you know it, Marwin Gonzalez strikes out. So what a start for Kennedy as he strikes out the entire top half of the first, and it's a quick one. Working quickly. Ian Kennedy strikes out the side. John Danks will be the pitcher for San Francisco. John Danks, let's look at his numbers real quick. John Danks has worked 13 in the third innings. He's 0-1 on the season. He's given up 12 hits in those 13 in a third. He's given up 4 earned runs. He's got 9 strikeouts and hasn't walked a batter yet. That's a 2.71 ERA and just under 1 for his whip. This is the lineup that will face him. Miami is beat up right now. They have some major injuries. They've injuries to Yonder Alonso and to Corey Dickerson, 2 of their starting lineup. And so they've had to make some big-time changes to their starting lineup. And this is the way they will line up. Jed Lowry. Jed Lowry is leading off. He's hitting .208. He does have 5 doubles, only 1 driven in. He's the shortstop. Ivan De Jesus is the normal second baseman. But with Alonso out, the third baseman, he moves over to third. Ivan De Jesus is hitting .167, a couple of doubles, a triple, and 1 RBI. Justin Smoke, the switch-hitting first baseman, is in the 3-hole. He's hitting .209. He's got a couple of homers, 4 driven in. Mike Napoli. Yes, we're having to use Mike Napoli in the field. He's a left fielder with a range of 5 and an E25. But they're struggling to find people. They've got a couple of good big bats on the bench, but they're both lefties, and against the lefty Danks, we're going with Napoli in the field. So if they hit anything out to left field where he's at, it might be dangerous. He's in the cleanup spot. Napoli is 6 for 14 in limited duty, but he does have a couple of home runs. David Peralta is the right fielder today. He's a left-handed batter, and he's hitting .340 on the season. 5 doubles, 3 triples, and a homer with 8 RBIs, which leads the team. Yan Gomes is the catcher today. He's hitting .262 with 2 homers and 5 driven in. John Jay is the center fielder. He's normally in that 8 spot, but he moves up to 7 today. John Jay is hitting .306. Surprisingly, his card is not that good, but he's gotten lucky with a homer and a couple RBI. Hector Gomez is the second baseman today. Hector Gomez is 0 for 3 in his limited duty, 2 of those being strikeouts. And Ian Kennedy is a weak right-handed batting pitcher, and he's using the number 1 card. All right, here we go. Ready for the bottom half of the first inning, just underway here on the RNGIDP channel. I'm Craig, happy to have you here. John Danks will pitch to Jed Lowry, and this is that's against the lefty, isn't he? So Jed Lowry steps in from the right-hand side, and he gets a hold of this one. Will it fly? Miami's got a tough park to hit one out of here, and he just misses it. Oh no, just missed that one. The left fielder, that's Gutierrez, makes a play at the wall, and Jed Lowry is robbed of a homer. That was so close. A 1-2, and it would have been a home run, as you see my numbers up there. And we rolled a 3, and Gutierrez takes away a homer from Jed Lowry. That would have been a nice way to start the ball game for Miami, but Ivan De Jesus now is up. He grounds out to shortstop Peralta. Peralta throws it over to Gonzalez, and that's the second out. So these pitchers are moving quickly. Nobody on base yet. And now Justin Smoke against the lefty. This is a 1-8. This could be the first hit. Hits it to the second baseman, and he's able to make the pick, and he throws it over to first. Baez with a nice play with the glove, and that will end the inning. So we're through one here. Nothing doing. Jed Lowry almost put one out to lead off the bottom half there, but couldn't quite get it over the head of Gutierrez. And we move to the second inning. Ian Kennedy struck out the side in the top half of the first, and here he is again with the big man, Giancarlo Stanton. And what will he do? And he swings and misses. That's 4 straight strikeouts to start the ball game for Ian Kennedy. And he's on fire here. He's putting the K in Kennedy. And here we go. Matt Duffy now, the third baseman. This is a 4-7. And a 4-7 is a strikeout. So how long will this streak go? He's got 5 strikeouts to start the ball game. And Ian Kennedy is rolling. Johnny Peralta now, the shortstop. Johnny Peralta batting from the right-hand side. And this one, he gets a hold of it, but it's out to center field. That's no problem for John Jay. He camps underneath it, and he makes the grab. And disappointingly, Ian Kennedy doesn't strike out the whole side there, but he gets 2 more. And San Francisco, 5 of their 6 outs have been made via strikeout. John Danks now against the left fielder Mike Napoli, and against the lefty Mike Napoli, he strikes out. That is a dangerous column for Mike Napoli. Surrounded by black ink there, and he found the 1 strikeout on that card. So John Danks gets him to whiff. And now David Peralta, lefty on lefty. It's a 5-4. Oh man, John Danks is playing with fire here. David Peralta is a normal batter against lefties, so this could be a home run. A 1-2. Nope, not this time. That's the right fielder this time. That's Stanton, who makes a nice play. And there's 2 down. Yan Gomes. So 2 people against Danks have given it a ride, but can't quite get it out of this big ballpark. And he will face Gomes, and Gomes dribbles one to short. That's Peralta out there. Peralta scoops it, tosses it to Gonzalez. And that's the 3rd out here in the bottom of the 2nd. And we're clean through 2. We move to the the top of the 3rd. Just getting underway here in the RNL. Both these teams struggling. San Francisco up to bat at the moment. San Francisco has only scored 32 runs on the season. They've got a -18 run differential. If you look at their stats, San Francisco has only hit 9 home runs. 7 of those have come from Stanton. The only 2 people other than Stanton to hit home runs have been Peralta, who's got 1, and Grady Sizemore, who's got 1. They've only had 29 driven in, 29 RBIs. Stanton and Peralta have 18 of those. So they got to get some other guys going. And maybe it will be tonight. So Franklin Gutierrez, and this will be against the righty Danks. It's a 3-8, and that's not going to do it. That's going to be a strikeout. 6 strikeouts now for Ian Kennedy, and he is on a roll. Chris Iannetta now, the catcher. 3-4. He dribbles this one out to second base. That would be Hector Gomez, the fill-in today, and he makes a nice play with the glove. And Iannetta is out. And now the pitcher. Ian Kennedy pitches to John Danks, the lefty. It's a 2-6, and John Danks swings and a miss. And that's 7 strikeouts for Kennedy through 1 whole time in the order. 7 strikeouts for 9 outs. And we move to the bottom of the 3rd. Ian Kennedy putting on a performance here. He's given up 1 fly out and 1 ground out. And the rest have been strikeouts. And here's John Danks. After he just struck out at the plate, he faces John Jay, the lefty. And he flies this one out to center, but that's no problem for Rajai Davis. Rajai Davis barely has to move, and he grabs it, makes the play. Hector Gomez, the second baseman today, 0 for 3 on the season. Hasn't had much chance to play. DeJesus is the normal second baseman, and he's been pretty good and hasn't taken any days off. So that's a 1-11 and a 1-11. Hector Gomez pops this one up behind the plate. The catcher Iannetta is out of his crouch, and he tosses his mask away and makes a catch behind the plate. So Hector Gomez is out. The second out, and now it will be Ian Kennedy. And I lost my die again. That always goes back there. And I messed up the camera. Ian Kennedy at the bat. He's a righty. And, oh boy, he gets a hold of this one. How far will it go? That's to the wall. Ian Kennedy doubles off of the lefty, John Danks. And the first hit, wouldn't you know it, the first hit of the ball game for either side is a double from Ian Kennedy. Ian Kennedy can do no wrong today. It's the Ian Kennedy show here through the first 3 innings. He's got 7 strikeouts on the mound, and now a double here. And can Jed Lowry do anything about it? Well, not this time. Lowry dribbles that one to Baez, and Baez, being the vacuum that he is, scoops it up and throws it to Gonzalez at first. And the double is wasted, the 2-out double from Kennedy. As we remain scoreless here, this is a 0-0 ball game. Ian Kennedy maybe running around the bases there, tires him out. We'll see as he faces the top of the order here for San Francisco. Rajai Davis struck out his last time, and it could have gotten to him, run around the bases, because this one is hit, and that one is down the line. Rajai Davis has himself a leadoff double. Ian Kennedy steps off the mound, catches his breath. That's the first hit he's given up. And he's trying to catch his breath. He hoofed it around the bases to get to second. And now he's got a man on second after a leadoff double from Rajai Davis. And Rajai Davis has Javi Baez at the plate. It's a 4-4. 4-4. This one's a grounder to the shortstop. That's Jed Lowry. Jed Lowry is a 4-range shortstop. A 4, and we rolled a 3. That's a single, 2 stars. And so just like that, back-to-back hits. And Javi Baez drives in Rajai Davis from second. And Ian Kennedy, after a sterling first 3 innings, has given up back-to-back hits and given up the lead. It's a 1-0 ball game for San Francisco. And just like that, the tides have turned. And now you've got a man on Baez with Gonzalez up. Baez this year, this is the 2015 set. He is a D stealer. Let's take a look at Gomez's arm while we're here. He's a -1 arm. So they are holding Baez to keep the double play in order. And this is to the lefty Gonzalez. And things get back on track for Kennedy as he strikes out Gonzalez for the second time today. That's the 8th strikeout for Kennedy, but only the first out here in the 4th. And now he's got the big man, Giancarlo Stanton. Can Stanton do some more damage here? He struck out his last time against Kennedy. That's a 5-3. This one's grounded back to Kennedy. Will he be able to make the play? Kennedy is a 4-ranged pitcher. A 413. A 413 is going to his error rating, which is a 0. So Kennedy able to scoop up the ball, toss it over to Gomez, and back over to Smoke. That's a 1-4-3 double play. So he doesn't get the strikeout, but he gets 2 big outs there on the double play. to end the threat and end the inning. Only giving up 1 run with a leadoff double and then a single. But now the offense for Miami has got some work to do to back up Kennedy. It's a 1-0 ball game going to the bottom of the 4th. San Francisco leading 1-0. It was the Ian Kennedy show for a while there, but John Danks has matched him on the scoreboard. And the offense for San Francisco scratches home a run. And John Danks will pitch to Ivan De Jesus now. And Ivan De Jesus, this is a ballpark single chance. And that's right up the middle. That is a single for Ivan De Jesus. So Ivan De Jesus is on board for the switch hitting, power hitting first baseman Justin Smoak. De Jesus is an E runner, or excuse me, an E stealer. The catcher is Ionetta. He's a +1 arm. So Justin Smoak will bat here. And against the lefty, he's a righty. And he hits this one to center field. Rajai Davis has a bead on it. And he makes the grab. De Jesus scampers back to first. And now Mike Napoli is the batter. Mike Napoli with 1 out. It's a 3-9. A 3-9 is Mike Napoli striking out. So Napoli in this spot start hasn't really done anything. He struck out twice. That's the only 2 strikeouts that John Danks has. And that's a big one right there. Now there's 2 down with a man on first. And David Peralta looking to make something happen against the lefty here. It's a 4-6. This one could do something. A 1-5 is a single. And no, not this time. It's hit too hard. The second baseman, Baez, makes a nice diving grab to grab it. And that will end the inning. So Miami can't do anything in the bottom half of the 4th here. They still remain scoreless. Miami, their offense continues to struggle. As I mentioned, the last half inning, San Francisco has only scored 32 runs coming into this game. Miami, they are only at 35 runs. They've got a -19 run differential. So if you thought -18 was bad for San Francisco, well, Miami's one worse. Even though they're a couple of spots higher in the standings. So Ian Kennedy looking to get things back on track. And he faces Matt Duffy here. And Matt Duffy against the righty. It's a grounder to third base. That is Ivan De Jesus today. And he scoops and fires. And that's the first out. So the strikeout pitch evading Ian Kennedy just a little bit. As the batters tend to figure out his delivery. And they're making more contact. And he pitches to Johnny Peralta here. And Johnny Peralta, patient. And he draws a walk. That's the first walk given up today for Ian Kennedy. Only the third base runner against him. Johnny Peralta is an E stealer. He's hanging pretty close to the bag, and they're not going to hold him. Well, they are going to hold him. They're going to try and keep this double play in order. So here we go. It's a 4-5. A 4-5. That's a shortstop X chance. That's Jed Lowry again. So Jed Lowry is a 4-range shortstop. We rolled a 7. That's a ground ball. So that is a ground ball C. So Lowry has to make a dive for it. He gets up, looks at the second base, but Peralta is going to make it, and he is able to make the throw. His only play is to first, and that's the second out of the top of the 5th. Excuse me. And Johnny Peralta advances to second. And now Chris Ionetta has a man in scoring position with Franklin Gutierrez making the out. Chris Ionetta at bat against Ian Kennedy. It's a 6-8. 6-8. This one's to the other side. That's Hector Gomez over there. Hector Gomez is a 2-range second baseman, so he's pretty good with the glove. A 2-3, and Hector Gomez makes a dive, makes the stop, pops up, and with a slow-running catcher, able to make the fine throw and get the last out of the top of the 5th. And San Francisco Can't put anything on the board there with a walk to Johnny Peralta. And that's probably a good idea from Ian Kennedy. Peralta and Stanton have been the two to really do anything on the bases. So pitching around those guys is not the worst idea. So there we go. John Danks here in the bottom of the 5th. We got some more people watching. Al Red Sox fan checking in. Clinton Parks checking in. How you doing? And we are here. We've got San Francisco leading 1-0. Going to the bottom of the 5th here. John Danks has been the story. Or excuse me, Ian Kennedy has been the story. 8 strikeouts through 5 innings here. But he did give up a run. John Danks has kept Miami off the board so far. And he will look to do so against Yan Gomes here. And Yan Gomes swings and a miss. That's a strikeout. The 3rd one for Danks. And the first out here in the bottom of the 5th. And John Jay now, the man with the bat in his hand. It's a 1-5, lefty against lefty. That's hit to the shortstop. That is Peralta out there. Peralta grabs it, fires it, and there's 2 down. Derek is coughing from the smoke in the air. He must be in Southern California, right? I guess if you're a Dodgers fan, Derek, Dodgers Royals fan, you probably are. My brother, he's in Southern California right now too. This is a 6-7 against the righty Hector Gomez. And Hector Gomez, the fill-in player, he is going to hit this one for a double. So Hector Gomez with a 2-out double. And maybe he's got a rally going here. Ian Kennedy threw out a double his last time up. Will he be able to drive in the second baseman from second base? It's a 2-11, a 2-11. This one's hit out to second base. And that is Javi Baez territory. And we know he's going to make the play. So they get a double, but can't drive him in again. Miami has gotten a couple of doubles in this game, but they haven't been able to advance past second. And here we are. Going to the top of the 6th. This is a quick moving game here. Ian Kennedy and John Danks putting on a show here. Ian Kennedy pitches to John Danks. And if you're wondering, Ian Kennedy's pitcher inning of weakness is the 6th. So I know it's kind of hard to believe, but we're already in the 6th. And Ian Kennedy gets John Danks to swing and miss. And that is his 9th strikeout of the ball game. Well, not John Danks's. That's Ian Kennedy's 9th strikeout victim. And there's 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Rajai Davis, the man at bat. And he strikes out. So he got him for a double and came around and scored his last time. But not this time. Ian Kennedy gets him to strike out. And there's 2 quick down here in the top of the 6th. Javi Baez has a single and a strikeout. He's got the lone RBI on the game today. And this is a 2-4. He hits this one out to short. Jed Lowry doesn't have a problem this time. And he throws it over to first. And that's a quick, strong inning for Kennedy here in the top half of the 6th. 2 strikeouts and a ground out. No real damage. And now John Danks looks to match him again. Here we go. John Danks against the leadoff man who's 0 for 2. He's a switch hitter, and he's batting from the right-hand side. This is a 3-8. Oh, this one could be good. Out to left field. Will it get down? It does. It rolls, and that will be a double for Jed Lowry. So the 3rd double of the game for Miami. This time it comes with nobody out instead of 2 down. And will Miami be able to do anything here? John Danks, his pitcher inning of weakness is the 6th as well. Ivan DeJesus against the lefty. What can he do? It's a 5-4. A 5-4. He draws a walk. So John Danks struggling here a little bit in the 6th. The catcher, Iannetta, goes out to have a chat with him. Tells him, hey, buddy, are you getting fatigued? If you give up another walk or a hit, then you're going to be weak here. All right, John Danks pitches to Justin Smoke. Justin Smoke, the switch hitter. And against the lefty, it's a 4-7. And this is a single. Will Jed Lowry get the green light? He is not. They're going to go station to station with nobody out here. They're going to have the bases loaded. And Miami has something going, and John Danks has reached his pitcher inning of weakness. He is now a weak pitcher. And let's take a look at the bullpen. And this will be San Francisco. Who does San Francisco have in the bullpen? Well, they've got Josh Fields, Jumbo Diaz, Andrew McKirahan, Matt Alberts. They've got a pretty decent bullpen, and they've relied pretty heavily on it. But Josh Fields has been pretty good. And will they go to the bullpen? I think they are. They're going to go get Josh Danks, and they're going to bring out the righty, Josh Fields. So Josh Fields comes in for the laboring John Danks, who just hit a wall here in the 6th. Loaded the bases, nobody out here. So John Danks has a chance for the victory, but Josh Fields is going to have to get him out of this with no runs. And let's get John Danks' numbers here in 1 second. So Danks goes 5+ innings. He gives up 5 hits. We don't know about the runs yet. Only 3 strikeouts and only 1 walk. But he leaves in danger with the bases loaded, and Josh Fields comes on. And I see that Al Red Sox fan is recruiting people to to leave some likes. Thank you for the diligence, Al Red Sox fan, and thank you to all the people that have liked this. I appreciate you guys being here. Let's take a look at Josh Fields' numbers for San Francisco. Josh Fields has pitched in 9 2/3 innings out of the bullpen. He has a win, given up only 7 runs in those almost 10 innings, only 2 earned runs, and I believe those came in one of his last 2 appearances. He's got 11 strikeouts and 6 walks. So Fields has been pretty effective. And here we go. Mike Napoli against Josh Fields. The infield is back. They're going to give up a run to get that double play. And this will be a 3-5. And a 3-5 against Josh Fields. Oh no, there's nowhere to put him. And Mike Napoli gets an RBI the easy way with a bat on his shoulder. Everybody moves up a base. And that's got to be sickening for John Danks, who gets pulled with the bases loaded. And the guy that comes in to relieve him gives up a bases loaded walk. Oh, that's rough. So here we go. Josh Fields. And the ball game is tied on a bases loaded walk. They're still loaded. Nobody out here. And David Peralta, the man at bat, they still have the infield back, looking to get a double play. It's a 1-5. A 1-5. Well, there's a big strikeout for Fields. Big time strikeout. And now there's 1 out. And Yan Gomes, the catcher. Yan Gomes is a double play waiting to happen. He's a 1-11 runner. And here he is, a 4-11. A 4-11 could be a single. It's a ballpark single chance. 1-10 is it's a single. It is a 13. And so a line out to short. And that's just what Fields needed. And here we go. John Jay. It'll be up to John Jay to break this thing open. A 1-1 ball game here. Miami has just tied it up. San Francisco scored in the 4th. We're here in the bottom of the 6th. Miami with the bases loaded, 2 down now. And John Jay at bat. And this one's a ballpark single chance. A 1-10 will do it. Oh, not this time. That one's a line out to the other side. So the defense, Javi Baez makes the play. But the defense for San Francisco, saving any more runs, And Miami has to feel disappointed. They loaded the bases with nobody out, and Josh Fields is able to give up only one, and that coming on a bases loaded walk. And he gets out of it with only one run there. So the book is closed on Danks. He's not going to be able to get the victory, but he gives up only one run. And now Ian Kennedy still out there, and he will face the 3, 4, 5 hitters of Gonzalez, Stanton, and Duffy. He's gotten Gonzalez to strike out twice so far. And here he is, the lefty. This is a 10. Oh, Gonzalez gets a hold of this one. The lefty, this is a tough park to hit a home run in, but he squeezes it over the wall. And that is a home run for the left-handed hitting Marwin Gonzalez. So Kennedy's got to be sad there. He just got back in the ball game. The offense finally scored a run, but a leadoff homer from Marwin Gonzalez. And now Kennedy hangs his head as he has to pitch to Giancarlo Stanton now. So Giancarlo Stanton against the righty. That's a walk. So Kennedy takes off his cap, wipes his brow, and he looks a little shaken here. Giving up a leadoff homer to Gonzalez, and now a walk to Stanton. And here he is against Duffy. Matt Duffy has struck out and grounded out to third. But the luster of Ian Kennedy is starting to wear off, and it wears off even more. Ian Kennedy walks Duffy. So now he's at his inning of weakness. He has reached it with 2 straight walks. And will they get Kennedy? Will they have to go get him? Ian Kennedy, Miami's bullpen is not as good. They've got Barraclaw, they've got Gorzolani, and then they've got 2 closers who are both really good, Ramos and Holland. So they're in the 7th. They could go get Barraclaw. Let me see his card 1 second. They are going to go get Kennedy. So Kennedy, he started out really well, but fizzled out. And they're going to have to go get him as he's reached out. So Peralta will not face Kennedy. He will face the righty Kyle Barraclaw. And as I made these scorecards, I didn't leave enough room to write Barraclaw in any legible font. It's like a 6 font. Ian Kennedy, he goes 6+ innings. He gives up only 1, 2, 3 hits. And he struck out 10. How many did he walk? He walked 3. So a pretty good start for Kennedy. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to get the win. Clinton Park says, couldn't figure out what's going on. Stanton with San Francisco? Am I in a league somewhere? Yeah, this is not a league. This is well, I guess it kind of is. It's a randomized rosters. So I randomized all the rosters. Giancarlo Stanton ended up with San Francisco. And all these teams, all 30 teams have completely new rosters. All right, so Barraclaw will pitch to Johnny Peralta. Barraclaw for Miami. He has pitched in 3 innings so far. No record to speak of. He's given up 4 hits in those 3 innings, 5 earned runs, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts. So he's been kind of wild, and he's paid for it. All right, here we go. Johnny Peralta against Barraclaw. Johnny Peralta's been their 2nd best hitter so far in the season, and he hits this one to first. This is the first baseman, Smoke, will have it. Let's see if he has a play. He's a first base 2. And a 2-6. And Smoke able to make a nice diving stop. Gets up, throws it to short, back to first. And that is a 3-6-3 double play. And what a big double play. Stanton able to move to third, but they get 2 big outs. And Kyle Barraclough comes in and squelches the rally so far. But there is a man at third, and Gutierrez is the man up to bat. Franklin Gutierrez against Kyle Barraclough, man at third. It's a 6-7. This one's hit to the second baseman, and that is Hector Gomez. Hector Gomez is a 2-range second baseman. And a 2-14, that's going to be a good play. Gomez is going to scoop it, and they are going to be out of the inning. Barraclough comes in and shuts it down. And San Francisco can only get 1 run there. And they're going to think that they should have had more. So, but they take the lead. It's a 2-1 ball game here at the stretch. And San Francisco leads 2-1. Will it be Josh Fields to come out again? Let's take a look at the bullpen once more for San Francisco. San Francisco has Jumbo Diaz, Matt Albers, and they're pitching to the bottom of the order. So they're going to go get Matt Albers. Matt Albers will be the new pitcher for Josh Fields, who put in a good inning of work. He would stand to be on the positive side here in case of a win. But Hector Gomez, the pitcher spot, and the switch hitter Jed Lowry are due up, and they are going to go get the righty Matt Albers. So Fields goes an inning. He doesn't give up any runs. He didn't walk anybody, or he did walk 1 and he struck out 1. All right, and Matt Albers is now the new pitcher, and he will face Hector Gomez. Matt Albers faces the righty. It's a 4-7, and the first man he faces, and he strikes him out. Clinton Parks likes Albers, yeah. All right, and the pitcher spot, they're not going to be in Kennedy. That will be, they're bringing in the lefty, Kyle Schwarber. They're looking for a big hit here, maybe even a home run. So they're going to the bench and bringing out Kyle Schwarber to try and get some power here. Kyle Schwarber has struggled. I'll get you his numbers here in a second. He's been limited to pitch hitting duty. We're not going to sing the, you can sing the stretch song if you'd like at home. Here we go. The Miami will be pinch hitting with Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber is 6 for 23. He does have a homer and 3 driven in. He's gotten some play off and on, mostly as a pinch hitter, a few spot starts. But here he is with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th against the righty. It's a 1-9, and just like that, he hits it. It's way deep. It's gone. It's a home run for Kyle Schwarber, a pinch hit variety. And this ball game is tied up at 2. So the manager's move pays off, and that one is gone. And Matt Albers didn't even look at that one. Just knew it. He hung his head from the very delivery of that ball. If I sing, I'll lose all my viewers. Yeah, probably. I don't have a great singing voice. I can talk. I can do some of that, but that's about it. This is the 2015 set. All right, this is Jed Lowry, who's one for 3 today, and he pitches, or Matt Albers pitches to him as a lefty, and this is a 3-4. He pops it up high in the sky. That's out to the second baseman, Baez, and Baez squeezes it, and there's the second out of the bottom of the 7th. And Ivan de Jesus now. A tie ball game here, bottom of the 7th. Ivan de Jesus flies this one out to center, and Rajai Davis makes the play. And Ivan DeJesus makes the last out here in the bottom of the 7th. So we go to the 8th, and it is a tie ball game. It's turned out to be a pretty good game so far, 2-2. Both starting pitchers are out after having pretty good displays, but hitting the wall, just all of a sudden hitting a wall. And they're going to go back to Bear Claw. No, we already pinch hit for him. I'm sorry. We already pinch hit for him, so they're going to have to go to the bullpen, and it will be they're going to go get Yusmeiro Petit. Yusmeiro Petit, the righty, will be the new pitcher against the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. And Bear Claw put in some good work there, but they're bringing in the righty Yusmeiro Petit after Kyle Schwarber ties up the ball game. Bear Claw goes 1 inning, gives up no hits, no runs, no earned runs, no strikeouts, got a big double play, and didn't walk anybody. And Petit takes over. And here we go. Yeah. Albers gave up 3 homers in 2015. Yeah, and I think that he's probably given up already 3 so far in this shortened season. I feel like he's given up a couple already. So Yusmeiro Petit pitches for Miami, and in his let's see here, he's gone 5 1/3 innings, no record, 4 hits, only 1 earned run. He's got 5 strikeouts to 2 walks. So here we go. Yusmeiro Petit, the top of the 8th, tie ball game here. San Francisco against Miami, and the leadoff man will be Chris Iannetta. And Chris Iannetta, he draws a walk. So Iannetta's aboard, and it will be the pitcher spot. And they're going to go to the bench, and it will be the pinch hitter, Grady Sizemore. Grady Sizemore has a home run for this team, San Francisco. As I mentioned earlier in the game, he and Peralta are the only 2 other batters other than Stanton before this Gonzalez homer to hit home runs for San Francisco this year. Grady Sizemore doing it in the pinch hit variety as well, which is where he's been assigned to be as a pinch hitter, a lefty off the bench. And here he is looking to get back that run. It's a 1-9, and oh, that was a 9. That was a 9. I just moved it. A 1-9, and this could be a home run, a 1-12, and it will be. And it's an 18, so it stays in the ballpark, but that's going to be a double. It's a double with no stars. So can Chris Iannetta score from first? Let's check it out and see if he's going to get a stop sign from his third base coach. He's a 1-10 runner. They weren't holding him. So it's a 1-10. So it's a 1-11. There's not 2 outs. So let's look at the outfielder's arm. That's to center field. Center field is John Jay, who's a +2. So it would be a 1-13 chance that Chris Iannetta would score. But with nobody out, he's getting the big stop sign. He's getting the big stop sign, and Grady Sizemore stays at second. Iannetta stays at third. And now, Rajai Davis, the top of the order here. And Yusmeiro Petit is going to get... He's going to get the yank sign. They're going to go get A.J. Ramos. And Petit can't get a cheap inning. They were looking to stretch the bullpen just a little bit. But now they're going to have to go and get one of their closers to try and keep this thing close. So Petit can't do the job. And now A.J. Ramos will come in. Petit can't even get an out. He gives up 1 hit, didn't strike out anybody, and walked a guy. And A.J. Ramos will be tasked for the top of the order here. It will be Rajai Davis, Javi Baez, and Marwin Gonzalez. And he pitches to Davis here, and that's a fly ball out to right with a question mark. So, let's see. Will will Ionetta be able to score? Let's see here. Ionetta is a 1 to 10 runner. The right fielder is Peralta. He's a 0, so it's a 10 plus 2 is a 12. Are they going to send Ionetta a 1 to 12? They're not going to do it. Nope, they're not going to do it. So it's a fly out to right. That's the first out of the inning. Ionetta, a little bit chicken to go. He doesn't want to get thrown out at home. Peralta tosses it to the cutoff man, and it will be up to Javi Baez now. Javi Baez with one out. The first base is open, and here he is against AJ Ramos. It's a 4-9. A 4-9 is a grounder to short. The infield is in. It's a grounder to short. This is Jed Lowry. Oops, wrong one. Jed Lowry is a 4-range shortstop. A 4-6. Oh, with the infield in, that's a single 1 star. So Javi Baez, who came up big to break open the scoring, gets another RBI here. Ionetta scores from third. Sizemore has to stop at third. But Baez drives home another run. And it's a 3-2 ball game. Baez with his second RBI of the day. And now Ramos gives up a run. Well, I guess that's Petit gives up a run. Baez couldn't hold it down, or Ramos couldn't hold it down. And now it's Marwin Gonzalez with runners on the corners. They got the infield back looking for a double play. It's a 6-9. He strikes out. So Gonzalez has had an interesting day at the plate. He's 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. But he's got a homer. So I guess that's what power hitters do, right? They strike out, but they also hit bombs. And speaking of, Giancarlo Stanton is up. And with a base open and the righty Matt Duffy, they're going to go ahead and give Stanton the intentional walk. They don't even want to try it. So Baez moves to second. You still have Sizemore on third. And Matt Duffy. Matt Duffy will be the batter against AJ Ramos. 2 down here, top of the 8th. San Francisco have taken the lead again. And Matt Duffy faces AJ Ramos. And this one's hit out to center field. And that will be a single. The center fielder can't make the play. It scoops on a hop. He grabs it. It's a single 2-star. So Baez will come around from second to score. Sizemore will score. Stanton, with 2 outs, was off with the pitch, and he makes it to third. David Duffy breaks this one open. Not David Duffy. Matt Duffy breaks this one open. 2 runs will score. And San Francisco have taken a bigger lead now. This is a 5-2 ball game. Matt Duffy, yeah, he was offended that they intentionally walked him, and now have taken the lead off a 2-run single by Matt Duffy. So some of these other batters that we were looking to try and get going for San Francisco have come up big here. Duffy with a couple of RBIs, and now Javi Baez with a couple of RBIs. And here he is against Johnny Peralta. And Johnny Peralta strikes out, and that will end the inning here. So AJ Ramos can't shut it down. Yusmeiro Petit got the 8th inning off with slowly walking a batter, then giving up a double. And they end up plating 3 runs here in the top of the 8th. San Francisco takes a 5-2 lead here going into the bottom. And the book will be closed on Petit, giving up 2 runs with not getting an out. That's a rough one. So Matt Albers, who he may luck into a win here. Matt Albers gives way, and it will be Jumbo Diaz. Jumbo Diaz, I feel like, has worked starters type innings. I'm going to have to check that out. But he's pitched quite a bit. And Jumbo Diaz will come in to get the 3, 4, 5 batters. And here he is, the righty, Jumbo Diaz. Matt Albers went an inning. He gave up a run off a homer to Kyle Schwarber, the pinch hit home run. He struck out one and didn't walk anybody. And he stands to be the victor if this thing continues the way it is. And Jumbo Diaz, let's look at his numbers. I'm interested here for San Francisco. Jumbo Diaz has gone 10 2/3 innings out of the bullpen. He's got a 1-1 record, 12 hits, 12 hits given up, 6 earned runs, 14 strikeouts as opposed to 3 walks. So he's been pretty effective, giving up a few runs, but he faces Justin Smoke here, who is 1 for 3 on the day. He's got a single, and he faces the righty Jumbo Diaz. From the left-hand side, it's a 4-9, and Justin Smoke gets a hold of this one. Does it have enough? It's out to dead center, and it is gone. Justin Smoke with a homer, and this one's not over yet. It's a 5-3 ball game. Smoke with the solo shot to lead off the bottom of the 8th, and Miami crawling back here. Can they get another couple of runs? It's up to Mike Napoli now. Mike Napoli is 0 for 2 with a walk. And here he is. This is a grounder out to short. The shortstop is Peralta. Johnny Peralta is a 4-range shortstop. A 4-18. He's going to make the play from the outfield grass with a strong throw to get the slow-running Mike Napoli. And that's a out for the first out here in the bottom of the 8th. David Peralta now. David Peralta, 0 for 3 today with a strikeout. Here he is against Jumbo Diaz. This one's over to the second baseman, Baez, who's been busy. He scoops it and tosses it, and there's 2 down. Now it's Yan Gomes' turn. Yan Gomes has some pop in his bat. Will he be able to do anything here to extend the inning? It's a grounder to second. That's not a good place to hit it. Baez, slick fielding Baez out at second. He is a 2-range second baseman. At 2.9, that's going to go to his error rating, so he makes a dive for it. Will he be able to make the play? He is an E24. We rolled a 6. So he makes a dive, he scoops it up, and he throws it to first, but he throws it wildly. And Yan Gomes will be aboard with on an error by the second baseman, Javi Baez. So as soon as I talked up how he was slick fielding, he commits an error. And now the inning is extended for the left-handed hitting John Jay. John Jay, 0 for 3 today. And John Jay with a 5-6. This one has a chance to be a single, a 1-7, and it sneaks through, and it does out past the first baseman and into right field. And so Jay keeps the inning going with a 2-out single, and now there's men at first and second for Hector Gomez. Hector Gomez has a double in this game. The tying run is on first. Can Hector Gomez keep this thing going against Jumbo Diaz? It's a 4-5. This one's out to the shortstop. The shortstop is Johnny Peralta. He's a 4. And this one's a single, so it gets underneath the glove of the diving Peralta. It's a single, but nobody can advance more than one base, so the bases are loaded. The bases are loaded, and we'll have a pinch hitter coming up for the pitcher. We saw the last time there was a pinch hitter. Schwarber hit a homer, and they go to another big left-handed batter off the bench. This time it's Michael Conforto. And will Michael Conforto be able to do the same thing? Michael Conforto steps in against Jumbo Diaz, and they are not going to allow Jumbo Diaz to pitch to him. They've seen enough, and Conforto will face the lefty, Andrew McCurahan. San Francisco has one lefty in the bullpen, and that is McCurahan, and they're going to him right now. So it will be a lefty-on-lefty matchup. Miami kind of had to pull the trigger on Conforto anyway. He's their biggest bat off the bench, but it's not an ideal matchup against the lefty. We'll see how it goes. So Jumbo Diaz goes 2 innings, or excuse me, 2/3 of an inning. He gave up 2 hits, 1 run so far. He didn't strike out anybody, and he has not walked anybody. So McCurahan comes in, the one lefty in that bullpen. And McCurahan has gone 3 1/3 innings, given up 9 hits, but only 2 earned runs even after those 9 hits. 1 strikeout and 1 walk. And here he faces the big lefty, Michael Conforto. And Michael Conforto, this one is out to the first baseman. Will Gonzalez be able to get down and make a play? He does, and he is able to scoop it and run himself over to first, and that will end the inning. So Conforto had a chance there down the line, but couldn't sneak it past the first baseman, Marwin Gonzalez, and it's a 5-3 ball game here going to the top of the 9th. And the top of the 9th, we're going to have to get a new pitcher for Miami, and it will be, do they go and get the closer, or do they try and sneak out? So they've got Holland, or they could go get Michael Guiap and squeeze an inning out of him, or they could do, you know what they may do is, they also have Dale Thayer. They're going to go and try and get an inning out of Dale Thayer. And if anything goes awry, they've got Holland in the back there. It's the 7, 8, 9 batters that will be faced. So they're going to try and squeeze an inning from the little-used Dale Thayer. Dale Thayer comes on, and A.J. Ramos, let's look at his numbers real quick. He went an inning. He gave up 2 hits, 1 run. He struck out 2 batters, and he walked 1 intentionally. So Dale Thayer will face Franklin Gutierrez, Chris Iannetta, and the pitcher spot, which was John Danks to start the game. And here he is against Franklin Gutierrez, and he leads off the inning with a walk. So not what you want to see your reliever do. He puts on a man, and now it will be Chris Iannetta. Will they let Iannetta bat here? They're going to pinch hit for Iannetta. They're going to pinch hit with Alexi Amarista. Iannetta doesn't have the greatest arm behind the plate, and so they've got Tuffy Goswitch, who's a better arm on the bench. So they're going to let Alexi Amarista hit, looking for an extra insurance run. So this is against the righty. It's a 3-10, and Amarista walks himself. So the little ninja Amarista is aboard, and it will be a pinch hitter. It will be Brandon Drury. So Brandon Drury pinch hits for the pitcher, and Brandon Drury has some pop on that card. And Thayer has walked the first 2 batters he's faced. He's going to get one more batter here to try and get out of it. And this was a 110, or excuse me, a 111. That's a ground ball back to Thayer, who wheels and fires it to second and on to first. It's a 1-4-3 double play. So Thayer gets 2 big outs. Gutierrez moves to third, but 2 outs are more important. And Drury, the pinch hitter, struggles and hits into a double play. So Rajai Davis with the man at third. Dale Thayer, the pitcher, excuse me. That's a 3-4, and Rajai Davis skies this one high. This one's out into the third base line, and it will be caught in foul ground. Von de Jesus grabbing it, and that will be the end of the top of the ninth. No runs scored. It was dicey there for a second. Thayer able to squeeze out that inning, showing his manager showing faith in him as he walked the first 2 batters. Got a big double play, and then Davis fouls out. So Tuffy Ghostwitch will have to come in and catch. And we'll take out Amarista's card. And we'll need a new pitcher. And it will be the closer. The closer for San Francisco is Sean Tullison. So Sean Tullison is given the ball and the duty of shutting down the 1, 2, 3 hitters here. It's back to the top of the order. Sean Tullison. Before we do that, let's look at McKirahan. McKirahan went a third of an inning and got his only man that he faced. So here we go. Sean Tullison for San Francisco. Sean Tullison has pitched in two and a third innings. He's got a loss and only 1 save on the season. The team only has 1 save. I mean, I guess given only they have 4 wins, 1 save isn't terrible. He saved a quarter of their games won, but he's given up 4 hits and 3 runs, no strikeouts and 3 walks. So Tullison can be had here, and Jed Lowry will lead off against him. Jed Lowry, the switch hitter, 1 for 4 today. He hits this one back to Tullison. Tullison fields his position pretty well, and he fires it to first. And there's 1 down. Von de Jesus looking to keep this game alive. It's a 6-6, a 6-12, and that's a grounder to first. That's going to be Marwin Gonzalez. Marwin Gonzalez is a 3-ranged. We rolled a 1, so this should be good. That's a single. Sneaks under the glove of Gonzalez. And Von de Jesus is aboard. A 5-3 ball game. The tying run is at the plate, and that is Justin Smoke, who hit a home run in the 8th inning. He's the tying run. Can he do it here against the closer, Sean Tullison? It's a 110. A 110. This one's hit back to the shortstop. Oh no, that's Peralta. Peralta over to Baez. Baez with a strong throw to Gonzalez. It's a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning, and unfortunate for Smoke, that's the column that you want him to get under. Look at that column. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possible home runs on that column, and he found the one area where he'd hit a double play, and that will end the ball game. San Francisco with a big win on the road in Miami. It's a 5-3 victory, and San Francisco moves to 5-8, and Miami drops to 5-8. It's a 5-3 game. 1 error for San Francisco, none for Miami. We'll get the totals here in a second, but before we do that, I just want to say thank you to all of you guys watching. I saw on the number here, and I've reached the most that I've had live watching this, and I just can't thank you guys enough for being here. I know I took the last couple of days off for health reasons, and I didn't know how well I'd be received on coming back, but you guys came back stronger than ever, and I'm so happy that you did, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed watching San Francisco fight and claw their way to a victory, and Miami give them every opportunity to do so. San Francisco found their bats. Marwin Gonzalez with a homer. Grady Sizemore with a big pinch hit double. And maybe this will be the game that ignites the San Francisco bats here. So let's get some totals here. And as we go through here, I just want to say thank you to Al Red Sox fan, Derek Dodgers Royals fan, Clinton Parks. Who else was here? The Statistician was here. And did I miss anybody? I hope I didn't. If I did, I'm sorry. We'll go through this, and if I can remember anybody else, I'll say it. So, San Francisco had one. Actually, you know what? Look at Tolleson. Tolleson went 1 inning. He gave up 1 hit, no runs. And Steve was here. Look at that. Steve is checking in. First time I've seen here. The league is back and well. Good game. Thank you, Steve. Follow me on Twitter like Steve does, at RNGIDP_Strat. I post all the scorecards there. I like to chat with people over there. It's fun. Tolleson didn't have a strikeout, and he didn't walk anybody. The victory will go to Matt Albers. Even though he gave up the homer to the pinch hitter Schwarber, he gets the win. Dale Thayer went an inning. He didn't give up a hit. No runs, no earned runs. He didn't strike out anybody, but he walked 2. The loss will go to... Who gets the loss here? That would be... I believe that is Petit, right? Yeah, Petit. Petit went... he didn't get an out, but he gave up 2 runs after walking and giving up a double, and he gets the loss in his brief appearance. You love the late night owl baseball, Al. Yes, I like to say on Twitter I play the hashtag late night strat game. Hashtag late night strat. Because I'm usually up. I'm playing with my kids, and after they go to bed, then this is my chance to actually play a game. So I come back here and I play my game, and it's fun stuff. So go follow me on Twitter, and I'll keep you apprised of the situation. And until then, I'm going to post this scorecard. I'll finish it up offline. I'll post it over there. And, hey, man, I just want to say thank you again. And good night.